All right, should be live. But what's up? What's up? We got another chapter of T-Bait, 476. I'm gonna try to get into that pretty quick. But uh, but yeah, So we got 476 today, and kind of talking about the last chapter just a little bit. I'm wondering where we're gonna go based off of the title of this chapter of this, like, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's like Ja or something like that. And so I'm not really sure exactly what that means. Maybe we're going to find out more as we read the chapter, but I'm wondering if we're going to continue on where we left off with Arthur, because we got a pretty big progression from last chapter with him getting Sylvie to stay conscious in the whole reliving the whole life thing, and then him able to bring Regis back. So both of it happening in the same chapter is a big progression in my opinion. So I think that we're probably not going to continue off from there. We're probably going to go and transition to something else, but we'll see. I don't know for sure. Um, but let's just get into the chapter first. Let's just get into the chapter. Try to get through it, and then what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to go live a little bit later today and do some more of He Who Fights with Monsters. I'll probably do some more of that today. Today is going to be a pretty busy day compared to normally. I might go, I don't know, maybe another 3 hours with He Who Fights with Monsters. What's up, Micah? I swear, Micah, I always catch you in like almost every live. I swear. That's cool. You kind of stick around, or at least you're able to come in for most of the lives that I have. Because I know my lives be like random ass times. I ain't got no like schedule or anything, so it's not like a consistent time. Sometimes most of the days it's Saturday. Sometimes it's Friday. Sometimes it's sometime on a weekday. Most of the times it's around like 7 o'clock in the afternoon or so. But there's a lot of times where I'll just randomly start a live at 4 or earlier. I normally don't do anything super duper late though. But anyway, let me just get into the chapter, try to get through it. I'm going to read this time. I'm not going to do no AI. I'm going to kind of go over it. I don't know. My voice didn't feel that great last night, so that's why I had to switch over to AI. But today I should be fine. I didn't do too much talking today, so my voice should be fine. So Tessia Aerolith. Wait, what? Tessia Aerolith? Okay, that's new. That's new. We haven't had a Tessia POV since she got her body taken over. So around the evening time. Okay. So I guess it just works out because I'm never making videos in the morning. So I guess it works out that way because I'm mostly like 99% of the time I'm making a video during the afternoon. So I get it. That makes sense. But Tessia Aerolith, I'm shocked that she actually has a POV. I don't know what to expect. I don't know what to expect at all. Huh. Is she gonna talk about how dumb she is for not killing Cecilia? Is she gonna talk about her regrets of the decisions that she made when she was young and dumb? I don't know. Okay, so let's see. Is this like a... I don't know. I really don't know what to expect. So anyway, so let's just go. All right, so as the portal swallowed us, my last thought was of disappointment. Oh, maybe she's having a POV from when she was first taken with Nico. Because Nico put on like the suppression handcuffs, and then I think he portaled back to... So maybe she met Agrona. Okay, so let's see. As the portal swallowed us, my last thought was disappointment. For a moment, it had felt so good to see Arthur, but that feeling crumbled with the stone structure of his golem's body. Wait. No. No, this is the fight with Ren and Cecilia. So this is her POV from Ren and Cecilia. Okay. See, man, I be wrong, yo. I be thinking like, oh yeah, the portal. Oh yeah, it was Nico when he took her and she probably met growing up. No, we're not even going there. We're just continuing off of the fight. So she's talking about how she was happy to see Arthur. Okay, for a moment, it had felt so good to see Arthur, but that feeling crumbled with the stone structure of his golem's body. Space and time introverted and stretched out and flipped upside down by the portal as it dragged us away. And then I was surrounded by nothing, absolutely nothing, emptiness in every direction, and I was alone. I was alone. I couldn't sense Cecilia or hear her thoughts, nor could I feel the body that I shared with her. Well, okay, if you want to be technical, it's the body that she shares with you, not the other way around. It was your body originally, so she invaded your body. So it's technically the body that she shares with you, because I mean I get it though because she has more control over it, but it's still your body though. Here's that word again. Tentatively, I tried to speak her name, but no sound came out. I had no fingers or toes to wiggle, no neck to turn my gaze left or right. Then, like I was stepping out of a thick black fog, space materialized in front of me. I was looking across a ground made of black glass at Cecilia. Not Cecilia in my body, but the way she pictured herself in her head. An athletic and feminine figure. There's nothing feminine about Cecilia at all, so I don't know what the fuck the feminine come from. But I guess the way she pictures herself, right? But the way she pictures herself in her head, an athletic feminine figure with cream-colored skin and dusty brown hair tied up in the tail. Beyond the strangeness of looking at her in a way I had only seen and thought before, something else was wrong. She was flat, like a reflection of herself in a dark mirror, and she was very still, making only occasional, unnaturally jerky movements. What does this mean? I don't understand what this all means. Like, what are we leading to? What's happening? I asked. My voice came out distorted and strange to my own ears. Across from me, Cecilia's face pinched into a scowl. She fucking loves to scowl all the fucking time. I should have known you would attack me as soon as you had the chance. Her voice resounded hostility. No? Hostilely? Hostilely? Maybe it's hostilely. Maybe that's how you say it. English is stupid. But here's her thing. She's like, yo, I should have known you was gonna attack me. Bro, you invaded her body, yo. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you're like a parasite. If a parasite invades your body, normally the first chance you have to attack it and get it out, you're going to take it, right? So, like, why is she acting like she's the victim? I should have known you would attack me from invading your body like a parasite. Duh. Of course she's gonna do that. Although, she could have killed her back with the Elderwood Guardian being unstable, blah, 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 but she didn't because she's stupid, but I digress. I shook my head. I wasn't exactly hiding that fact. Whatever delusions or reasons you have to act the way you do, that applies to me too. But that's not important right now, is it? Look around us. Where are we? Maybe it's a blessing in disguise when I escape this. Whatever it is, I'm going to leave you here, in her frame. Cecilia's hands came up, and it looked as if she were pushing against the surface of a flat piece of glass. Muted as my senses were, my nerves were still on fire. Maybe she's about to take over her body, but that don't make sense. Is Tessia really about to get her body back? And if she does get her body back, is she still going to have the power and control over mana the way that Cecilia did? I have no clue. And then also, she was in a portal, so where the hell is she? Maybe she's somewhere in the relic tombs, I guess? Maybe, possibly, I don't know. Maybe it's a blessing. Wait. Let me reread this. Maybe it's a blessing in disguise. When I escape this, whatever it is, I'm going to leave you here in her frame. Cecilia's hands came up, and it looked as if she were pushing against the surface of a flat piece of glass. Muted as my senses were, my nerves were still on fire throughout my body as I considered the full implications of what Cecilia and I were experiencing. We had fallen through a portal and been transported somewhere, but more than that, we had somehow been separated from one another and imprisoned. How is Arthur capable of this? Okay, so they've been separated and imprisoned. So like basically they're on different sides of a glass, I guess. Maybe. Oh, Vitra, take me, Cecilia cursed, letting her hands drop. I can't believe I fell for his trap. Agrona is going to be furious. Not only did I disobey him, but I failed as well. I disappointed Dad. Anyway, or would it be Uncle? I don't know. I felt myself frown in a distant, numb sort of way. Surely you're more angry at Arthur for trapping you than you are afraid of Agrona. Huh. I felt myself frown in a distant, so this must be Tessia. I felt myself frown in a distant, numb sort of way. Surely you're more angry at Arthur for trapping you than you are afraid of Agrona. So, I mean, what is that even supposed to mean? I mean, yeah, she's gonna be afraid of Agrona, but like, why does it matter if she's more angry? I don't understand this part. Anyway, when Cecilia looked across the emptiness at me, I could see I was wrong. Her emotions were distant and clouded, but the expression on her face was easily readable. You don't understand. He's losing patience with me. I've sensed it, and I'm afraid that he'll do something to Nico to punish me. She turned left and right, up and down as she searched her prison for any hint of a way out. I need to escape this place. Cecilia's thought brought me up short, and I had to be careful to not send any more thoughts to her. I was scared, and I wanted to escape too, but Arthur had done this on purpose. Wait, Arthur did this on purpose? I thought this is just all in their head. Like, they're really trying to think that Arthur did this? I mean, did he really do this? I don't know. Why are they so sure Arthur's the one that did this, though? Maybe I need to reread that chapter and figure out how this portal even came to existence or something, because I'm a little confused. Arthur had done this on purpose, knowing Cecilia and I will both be trapped here. I had to ask myself what Arthur's intention was. I didn't know where we were, what the purpose of this place was beyond the obvious, or what would happen if we remained. Arthur knew I was still conscious inside of my body along with Cecilia, or at least I thought he did. He would have expected me to be here. That could have been why he devised this prison to separate us. Perhaps that meant he would be coming to free me. But was he really capable of such powerful magic? Fear turned my stomach. It was also possible that the separation of our minds had nothing to do with Arthur's actual plan, and he had finally decided that removing Cecilia was worth sacrificing me in the gambit. I couldn't bring myself to disagree with the sentiment or be angry at Arthur if this was the case, but I still felt afraid. Okay. Is she in the mirror place? Are you talking about the mirror? Are you talking about the mirror place where Arthur went and the whole family ended up dying because the one kid was stupid and shit? I don't know. I'm not anybody to even guess. I really have no clue. I'm just kind of learning as we go. So she's not going to disagree if Arthur said that, yeah, I'm going to take you both out. You know, she's too dangerous, blah, blah, blah. If it means sacrificing Tessia, then, you know, so be it. I mean, that's the smart move, right? That's a smart move, I would say. I can feel your mind worrying over there. Cecilia interrupted my thoughts. It's annoying. If you're not gonna help me figure out how to get out of this prison, the least you can do is shut up. I sighed and wrapped my arms around myself. I don't know what this place is, but to be honest, I don't really care. Arthur finally beat you, Cecilia. There's nowhere for you to go, nothing for you to do now. Sit and seethe in your own silence and fear. I closed myself off to her before she could reply, lapsing into a sudden and fretful silence. But I still had to watch her. I couldn't look anywhere else. Seeing her thrashing and... What the fuck is that? Gesticulating? Is that how you say that word? Because I have no clue. Let me see what they say, how you say this word.
Gesticulate.
Gesticulate? What the fuck is gesticulate? Using gestures, especially dramatic ones, instead of speaking to emphasize one words. They were shouting and gesticulating frantically at drivers who would not slow down. Oh, so that's like using expressive body language type of motions, right? So I'm like, I guess that's gesticulating. That's interesting. Anyway, so she was gesticulating inside her two-dimensional prison, brought me neither pleasure nor comfort. I expected her efforts to be short-lived, but was surprised as the tenacity, tenacity of her efforts only built. No magic or spells manifested in the open air between us, but a charge built within the strange prison that made the hair on my neck stand on end and roughened my skin with goose flesh. A tremor ran from my toes up to my scalp, and something tugged me forward. I flowed through a thin layer of glassy energy. She flowed through a thin layer of glassy energy and found myself standing on the smooth surface I had seen before. I spun around to see an identical window like the one Cecilia was still trapped inside. I could feel her burning eyes stabbing into my back. Beyond the window, around our smooth flat platform, beyond God, I can't say this. Around our smooth flat platform, I think it was the flat platform was messing me up. I was saying like flat flooring. Anyway, which couldn't have been more than 20 feet wide, was an endless ocean of emptiness. It was so black that my eyes played tricks on me, inserting color in a haze of purple and shades like shadowy creatures crawling over each other inside the dark and the void. Okay, so what does this mean? I turned away and hurried to the very center of the platform between the two windows. I'm trying to picture this. So the platform, smooth platform between two windows. I don't know what this means. I really don't. Let me reread this. Beyond the window, around our smooth, flat platform, which couldn't have been more than 20 feet wide, was an endless ocean of emptiness. It was so black that my eyes played tricks on me, inserting color in a haze of purple. Wait, maybe she's in the ether realm? Maybe? It was so black that my eyes played tricks with me, inserting color in a haze of purple and shapes like shadowy creatures crawling over each other inside the dark and the void. I turned away and hurried to the very center of the platform between the two windows, each labored breath aching in my chest. What have you done, Arthur? As if from a great distance, Cecilia's muffled voice was shouting my name. My hands trailed up my arms to my shoulders, then to my face, feeling the warmth of my skin, the shape of my nose, cheeks, and lips. My hair, I thought, running my fingers through it, lifting a lock of the silvery gray strands. Tessia! Cecilia shouted again, her voice cutting through my reverie. I don't fucking know, man. Like a bone saw. I wrapped my arms around myself in a sort of hug, hunching over and closing my eyes. Just give me some time, please. Let me have this moment. My legs were trembling, and I sank to the ground and pulled my knees to my chest. Pressing my face into my knees, I began to cry. My body shook with relief of it. Slowly, I exercised the pent-up emotion of my long imprisonment, and the tears eased. My breath came easily. Every muscle in my body relaxed. Well, so what does this mean? So like, is now Cecilia getting trapped? But like, maybe Tessia has more control, I guess? I'm so confused because the reason I think that it might be the ether realm, because I'm just like, Tessia can't see ether. So maybe it's so black to her, but then it kind of looks kind of purple a little bit because of, you know, she thinks her mind's playing tricks on her or something. But I'm not entirely sure. What is it? Did you ever give a try to omniscient reader viewpoint? Yeah, I don't know how to say your name. What, Mola? I guess I might call it. I'm not sure, but yeah, I tried that way back, like, I don't know, years back before I even started making videos. I stopped, I don't know, some chapter 82 or some shit like that. I don't know, but yeah, I gave it a try. It was meh, but that was a long time ago though. But anyway, what was I saying? So she started crying. The relief that she got from crying excised the pent-up emotion from her long imprisonment, and the tears eased. My breath became easy, every muscle in my body relaxed. Cecilia cleared her throat. How did you escape? So she escaped? I am so just confused right now. Like, how did she escape? How did she escape? I'm not even sure she even escaped. I don't even know what the hell is going on, to be honest with you. How did you escape? Imagine the two of us fused together for so long, I said, my voice empty of all the emotion I had just released, only to find ourselves imprisoned together when we are finally separated. Wait, what? Imagine the two of us, right, Cecilia and Tessia, fused together for so long. I mean, it hasn't been that long. It's been like, what, a year maybe? I said, only to find ourselves imprisoned together when we are finally separated. Okay, so she's just saying that they're fused together, and then now when they're separated, they're imprisoned together. So basically, she can't get away from her, is what she's saying. She's like, listen, she can't get away from her. Like, even if she gets free, she still can't get the fuck away from her. Tessia, please. My gaze slowly lifted to meet Cecilia's. I had spent so long now inside her thoughts that I knew her probably better than she knew herself. I seen her switch from a megalomaniac to a vulnerable girl, like I might switch on and off a lighting artifact. But I also had to remind myself that she was a child. No, I don't want to hear these bullshit ass excuses. She was a child. She was manipulated. She didn't have any choice. No, you always got a choice, especially when you're powerful. You always got a choice. You'll try to tell me she ain't no fucking 5-year-old. Like, she knows what's the difference between right and wrong. She knows that it's wrong to kill innocent people. Like, you don't gotta be taught that shit in order for you to understand that. So like, I'm so sick of them giving her all these bullshit ass excuses. Oh, she was a child. She was manipulated. Oh, she was there. She could have done whatever the fuck she wanted. She could have disobeyed. She could have went and said, oh, I'm free now. I'm gonna start a life with Nico. Fuck you, Agrona. I'm gonna just embrace this new world. And you know, she could have done so many different things. But no, she went along and did everything that she was told to do. Killed innocent people because she wanted to achieve the agenda of somebody who wanted her to do things that he wanted her to do. There is no excuse. There is no manipulation. There's none of that shit. I'm so sick of them giving her excuse. Oh, I gotta remember she was a child. She ain't fucking 5. The fuck? She was what? 16? Maybe? When all this shit happened in her body, when she killed herself. Think about that. She made the decision to kill herself, or, you know, basically, yeah, to kill herself. So like, she was smart enough to be able to make that decision for herself. Like, man, All this whole, oh my God, she's a victim. She ain't no fucking victim. Not anymore. Maybe he was a victim when she came back, but she chose to do all the shit that she's been doing. So ain't no victim anymore. Anyway, I digress, okay? My rant is over. You said she's 19 going on 20. I don't know how old she is, but her ass ain't that young to where you're just like, you know, she was a child, she was manipulated. Nah, I'm not going with it. But I also had to remind myself that she was a child who had been manipulated into being little more than a weapon, not only once, but through 2 different lives. Okay, cool. And then how do you handle the first time somebody is using you for a weapon? How do you handle that, right? Somebody wants to use you for a weapon, right? How do you handle that? You're just like, okay, I don't want them to continue to use me. I don't want them to continue to use the people that I care about in order for me to do what they want me to do. So I'm going to take myself out. Boom. Okay, cool. Respect. Okay, cool. But then it's happening again. So how do you handle it this time? You don't take yourself out this time. You decide, let me just do everything they want me to do. Like, what the fuck? That shit don't make any sense. Let me do everything they want me to do and hope they don't kill the person that I love and hope they send me back to my new world. I'm just hoping that they do the right thing, even though they're using me as a weapon. Listen, I cannot stop dragging this girl, yo. It's too easy. She's just too... Oh, Lord. Okay. I don't know. I felt you pushing mana across this platform and a charge built up inside my window. Then suddenly I was drifting out. That's it, Cecilia said desperately. These windows or whatever must have to be opened with mana, or her face fell, suddenly growing pale with fear. Or ether. I thought back to the moment Cecilia had used Arthur's own weapon to strike a blow against him and went silent. If I moved enough mana, it is possible that some ether interacted with the window as well, but I can't pull mana to me in here, she continued softly. I'm curious, like, where she's going with this. I didn't answer. Which means you will have to be the one to release me. Bruh, I'm just so like, man, I guess we're really gonna find out if Tessie is still stupid, or is Tessie just still this, you know, idealistic fucking person who's just like, you know what? You can be saved. It doesn't matter how many people you killed. It doesn't matter how many murders you committed. I can still save you with the power of friendship. Oh, Lord. Anyway, let's see where we go. You said I should read what is that? Cradles? I never heard of that. I might have to add that to my list to look at. But it wouldn't be anytime soon, because right now I'm still doing He Who Fights with Monsters right now. So that story's got about 11 books or so. So that's gonna be a while. But anyway, so let me see what she says. So you're gonna have to be the one to let her out. Okay? That means that you have to be the one to release me, she finished after a few long seconds. We have to work together. You're going to have to let me back in. I just cannot get over this shit, yo. I'm just like, yo, what? She finally gets free. And your response is, you know, you need to come back inside the prison and we can work together so that way you can let me out so I can take over your body again. And I can try to kill the person that you love and your friends and family. Like, you know, just I can't. Oh Lord, this is funny. This is this is this is funny, bro. Okay. So what is she gonna? Friendship saves the world. Let's oh God. Let me see what she says. Let me see what she says. Okay. So you're gonna have to let me back in. She was referring to the mental block I had placed shortly after arriving inside the zone, cutting her off while I was imprisoned inside the window. I left the barrier up, but now it slipped away, joining our minds yet again. Wait, I'm confused. So did she let it? Okay, so she put up the barrier. She was referring to the mental block I had placed shortly after arriving inside the zone. So when they got inside the zone, she put up some mental block that cut her off while they were imprisoned inside the window. I'd left the barrier up, but now it slipped away. So I guess slipped away means that it wasn't her choice. It just kind of like slipped through her fingers, like the barrier just kind of slipped away. And so now their minds are joined again. So I guess she can now get her thoughts and her emotions and stuff again. Cecilia's tangle of emotions burned hot and uncomfortable, like an ache behind my eyes. Except there is one other problem, I started, digging my fingers into my temple with a grimace. Even if I wanted to release you, I don't know if I do. I can't control mana. I could sense the mana contained within the strange prison, but although I had my body back, I'm still confused, man. So what? So she went back into the prison, but then now she has her body back? Even if I wanted to release you, I don't know if I do. I can't control mana. I could sense the mana contained within the strange prison. But although I had my body back, I hadn't regained my ability to cast spells. I tried not to think about the fact that I did not have a core at all. Cecilia didn't respond immediately, but I could feel her thoughts turning over and over. I stepped away from her window, moving to the edge of the platform and staring out into the nothing beyond. The writhing shadows, black on black, made my skin crawl even as I wondered if it was real or if I was simply seeing things. Why can we still hear each other's thoughts? Cecilia asked, her voice seeping into my head unexpectedly. I returned to her window. I don't know. But then I can't even imagine what kind of magic could separate us to begin with. Even if we haven't been separated, she asked, her voice soft and echoing as if resounding up from the bottom of a well. Oh, not even if. It says, what if we haven't been separated? What do you mean? She gestured at my torso from within the window. You have your body, but I look like myself, like before on Earth. And yet the rules that bound my reincarnated spirit to your body still mark your flesh. You are walking around inside an integrated body and should be able to use magic, while I have a key center and not a core, but I can manipulate mana. I'm confused. How does she have a key center? How does she have a key center? You are walking around inside an integrated body and should be able to use magic, while I have a key center and not a core, but I can manipulate mana. So what does that mean? Since she got a key center and can manipulate mana, what? Tessia can manipulate ki? I couldn't hide my surprise as I regarded her. Of course, I should have seen that before. So you think that we are still in the same body, only our minds are divided. I'm confused. I don't know. I'm just gonna keep reading. I ain't about to think too hard about it. I think we're in a relic tombs. That's what I thought. Ether realm. She confirmed. If there is anywhere that could trap our minds in a prison while our body sleeps somewhere else, that would be the answer. Cecilia had been taught about the relatives, although not extensively, and I share her limited knowledge. Together, hold on. So together, we consider what we knew. That must have been an ascension portal that we fell through. Okay. And she probably can't go through, maybe she can't go through an ascension portal. And that's how she ended up going to the ether realm. But my question is, why wouldn't she be able to go through it if she's not an Asura? Because they said that only Asuras couldn't go through. Or maybe she's in a particular place in the relatives that can put her in this state, I guess? I don't know. So that must have been an ascension portal that we fell through. Cecilia nodded at me from within her window. Gray would only have chosen this zone if it was somewhere he thought we couldn't escape, which means that it likely does require control over ether to navigate, I said, circling back to our earlier line of thought. So we really are stuck here. No, Cecilia said, now shaking her head. I already released you. What do you mean you already released her? That means we can interact with this zone, even if not in the intended way. You can release me, and together we can clear this zone and find our way out. So Cecilia was the one that released Tessia? And so now she wants Tessia to release her? Ellie and the others? I don't think it's that place. Because remember, that place, it was like they had to keep dying over and over and over again. I guess it could be. It could be that place. It could be. You could be right. I don't know. You can release me, and together we can clear this zone and find our way out. I bit my lip, unsure what to do. Is this place any worse than out there, where I'll be a prisoner in my own body again? Please, Tessia. Please, I can't stay here. I have to get back to Agrona. Oh my God, I just can't, yo. This girl, yo, I can't. Oh God. Okay. Let me stop with the theatrics. Okay. Please, Tessia, Cecilia begged, sagging in her frame. I can't stay trapped in here. I have to get back to Agrona to explain myself. Her eyes burrowing into mine. I can't let him punish Nico for my mistakes. When I didn't immediately respond, she added, I know you don't understand why I do the things that I do, but what? Who will understand why you do any of the shit that you do? Who will understand? Like, you don't even understand why you do the things that you do. You just do shit. You're just like, I'm gonna just do this. I don't really know. In my head, I'm telling myself no, but in my body, I'm telling myself yes. R. Kelly, I don't know. I'm just doing it. Okay. I understand. I know you don't understand why I do the things that I do, but I don't. But I also can't say I haven't done something similar. What? I swallowed down a lump in my throat, wondering at the simulation's ability to create such a realistic sensation. I chose to go to my parents that day. Oh, she's talking about her mistakes. Right. But this is different though. This is not no mistakes. You didn't. I mean, this is completely different. Like, yeah, you made a stupid decision, right? You made a stupid decision that day, and people chose to risk their lives to save you. But Cecilia chose to murder people. She chose to do everything she can to fulfill the purpose and agenda of someone who loosely enslaved, but still slavery, who enslaved an entire continent or country, whatever the fuck you want to call it, continent. So I don't bro. Okay. Let's see what she says. Let me just read. I chose to go to my parents that day, and Arthur and Sylvie almost died. No, in a sense, they did die because of my decision. I knew that Arthur wanted to keep Cecilia in this place for as long as possible. Maybe he meant her to stay here forever, or maybe he knew she would break free eventually. I could only hope that my actions were part of his plan, because the more I thought, the more my mind felt made up. So I'm so confused. So she's like, okay, Arthur sent us here for a reason. He wants to stop her from bro, you want to save the person who's trying to kill the man that you love? And she's only trying to kill him because the person who's using her as a weapon wants her to? And you want to save that person? Even if you get her out, you know that you most likely won't have control and she's going to go back to doing the same shit she was doing before? I mean, at some point, you just kind of just deserve to just die and you just deserve your fate at that point. Like, whatever happens, just happens, because I just don't, I just don't. I just don't get it. I really don't. Okay. So now she's saying that, Arthur took in consideration what she might have thought while she was still conscious inside Cecilia's mind. But why would Arthur even consider what Tessia would think? That don't even make sense. Like, oh yeah, he's got to be thinking that, even when he sent us to this place that he doesn't want her to escape, he's got to be thinking that I'm going to eventually help her escape, right? Arthur's got to be thinking that, right? He's got to be thinking that I'm going to let her escape so that way she can come after him again and try to kill her. Like, I just... Tessia is just getting more and more horrible as a character. She really is. Like, I mean, I don't understand where you even come up with this shit. I really don't. So here's what she says. What do you want, Cecilia? I asked. Really, in the end, I mean. Cecilia let out a deep breath, her eyes never leaving mine. I want it all to have been worth it in the end. You want it all to have been worth it. What exactly? What exactly do you want to be worth it? All the shit that you didn't been through? All the lives you didn't taken? Like, what? Nodding my understanding. So apparently Tessia understands, I guess. I made a decision that I could only hope I wouldn't grow to regret. Bruh, yo! Bruh, yo, what is she about to say? You're going to have to give me control and teach me how to use magic without a cord. Okay, hold on. Let's take a break for a second. Hold on. Oh my God. Okay. Hold on. So once again, okay, this is now twice. She has the ability to either kill Cecilia or just take her out of the fight completely to where she's not going. This guy is struggling to walk, man. Holy shit. He's really struggling. So once again, she has a decision to either take her out or just take her completely out of the fight to where she can no longer kill any civilians. She can no longer kill any Asura. She can no longer murder any more people. So she can no longer sacrifice lives for Agrona's agenda. She can no longer contribute to the battle in any way. She has another opportunity to do this. And what she chooses to do is to save her and put her back into the fight at the risk of what? Destroying everything that she loves? Like, I just... And then she says, like, oh, I hope I don't regret. When regret means everybody you love is killed and enslaved by Agrona with the help of Cecilia, that's what regret is. You're making a decision where the consequences are everything you ever cared about completely annihilated. Those are the consequences. I hope I don't regret this and have the whole fucking world get destroyed. I really hope, you know, because I just gotta save this girl because she was a manipulated victim and it's not her fault. I just... I don't know. I guess they were meant for each other. They're both just terrible characters. I mean, all the sacrifices that Tessia has done to, you know, to protect the people that she loves, the people that she cares about, you know, she's learned from some of her mistakes when she, like, you know, what did she do? She was fighting the one person so much because she was trying to prove how strong she was, when the consequences ended up being that a lot of people got killed because of her actions. And it's just like, okay, she learned from that. Because I remember Aya had came, or she had came and she was like, you know, you made a mistake, you did the wrong thing, whatever. Remember, she was all depressed, and then Arthur came to go see her and shit, and like, I was just like, yeah, remember, yeah, she was all depressed and she wouldn't talk to nobody, and then Virian, she wouldn't talk to her. Remember, she took her clothes off in front of Arthur and shit, took a shower, and Arthur was like combing her hair. She was all distraught over that whole situation, right? And then she supposedly had learned from that situation, right? And then now she's doing it all over again. And it's just like, and then the stakes are even higher now. It's just like, how? Why? Like, why wouldn't you be like, listen, let me just keep her here for as long as possible to give Arthur the time that he needs to do what he needs to do. Even if it costs me my life, it's worth it, because the longer I keep her here, the more lives that I save. Like, it's basic fucking math. And she's just like, no, I'm gonna continue. I don't know. So anyway, so you're gonna have to teach me how to use magic without a core. What followed was a difficult back and forth as Cecilia and I both worked against our instincts. If we were right, the zone was a kind of projection, little more than a dream, and for Cecilia to release her hold over my body and allow me to manipulate the mana within the dream, we both had to accept that the zone was simultaneously not populated by our real selves, while also allowing our real shared body and magical ability to be utilized by both of us at the same time. I don't give a fuck. It would have been far easier to simply wake up, but whatever magic formed the zone and held us within it wasn't so easily beaten. Still, I had been right beside Cecilia for all of her many advances in mana manipulation, and the pain that I had been subjected to was not without some benefit. Many hours, maybe even days, passed as I sat in front of Cecilia's mirror and sought the magic. Despite the passing time, Cecilia seemed to calm as she stepped into the role of guide and teacher, simultaneously handing me the reins of our detached physical body while guiding me towards the magic and teaching me how to manipulate it without the lens of a core to focus through. I followed her impromptu exercises with a singular focus, and we both embraced the trial and error necessary to impart her insight and understanding. Okay, that's not working, but I think we can change tactics slightly, Cecilia said after one of many failed efforts. I can sense the mana reacting to your focus, but you're not taking hold of it, at least not yet. She looked at me with her brows pinched in confusion. What? I realized I was smiling and quickly smoothed my features. Nothing. It's just, you seem so motivated, almost like you're having fun. She started before trailing off. I guess it's just nice to be working together for a change. I nodded, understanding what she meant. We're almost there. I can feel it. It was difficult to describe, but it felt like there was a scale inside me, and that scale was tipping slowly, lifting me up and bringing me into balance with the opposing force. Cecilia. And as that scale balanced, my sense of the mana drifting around us heightened until I could feel something brushing over the tips of my reaching fingers. And then finally, my fingers closed around what I've been reaching for. I drew in a sudden, shivering breath, and my hands clenching into fists. The mana particles lit up in my vision the way Cecilia could see it. The particles were sparse, floating over the platform, but not suffusing the void beyond. See how the mana moves? Cecilia used our mental connection to draw my focus to a specific point. There was a sort of tension in the suspended mana particles. This place is much thicker with ether, and that tension is the two forces pressing against each other. If you press all the mana toward my window, you can't help but move some ether too. That has to be how I released you, I think. I stood and took a few steps back, working to slow and steady my breathing, which was threatening to run out of control as the flush of success and the joy of controlling mana washed over me. My concentration tightened on the mana, taking hold of it particle by particle, but not yet enacting my will. I tried to visualize all the ether particles that were filling the gaps between the reds, yellows, blue, greens, and blues. The thought that Arthur must be able to see the entire picture filled into or flitted into my head. Thinking of him helped steady me and give me confidence. Yeah, you're really thinking of Arthur, right? Because if you somehow get her out of here, that's the person that she's trying to kill. Like, I just don't care. All right, let's continue. Now push with all your might, Cecilia ordered. I hesitated. What are you waiting for? Cecilia asked, a hint of her desperation leaking back into her demeanor. You know what would be cool? What would be cool would be if Tessia was actually somehow just being able to use Cecilia, so that way she can get the knowledge to teach how to use the mana. And then once she got that knowledge, she was like, okay, thank you. Now, I'm getting the fuck out of here. You're staying in here, and I'm about to get control of my body again. Peace out. You know, like, that would be cool. I was like, okay, cool. All right, we got it. We got some manipulation, and we got, okay, tactics, some strategy. Cool. Thumbs up. If I help us get out of here, you owe me one. You owe me one? That's it? That's it? That's it? You... Bro, what? You owe me one. Like, an owe me one is like, okay, you owe me a favor. Okay, what's your favor? Don't kill all the people I love. Sure. I'll do that for you, Tessia. I will 100% do that for you. I won't try to kill Arthur anymore. I'm going to go against Agrona, the person that I'm more afraid of than anything else in this world. Yep, for sure. I owe you one. I just can't get over this shit, bro. What? You owe me one, I said, watching her carefully. As long as it is in your ability, I need you to promise that you'll do me one favor. That you'll do one favor for me in the future. That is it, bruh. That is it. A favor that she could do for her in the future. Now Cecilia was the one hesitant, her jaw working silently in the window. Her thoughts shrouded momentarily. I promise. Letting out a breath, or a deep breath, I pushed. The flat plane in the window containing Cecilia rippled, and she drifted out onto the platform behind her. The mana I had projected spilled out into the void and was swallowed by the darkness. Cecilia looked down at her hands, then spun in a circle, her eyes wide as she gazed around. I smiled. But almost immediately, the expression faltered as a sleepy fatigue gripped me. I stumbled suddenly. Cecilia's eyes widened with surprise, and she grabbed me to keep me from falling. Her worried face grew blurry as the dark void behind her pulsed, fading in and out. Okay, so I'm guessing this means that Cecilia has a little bit of fondness for Tessia now, because they worked together to teach her how to use mana. I closed my eyes, and when I opened them again, I saw only a flash of darkness and claws. Closed again, then open, a waterfall in the distance, sparkling under a red sun. A blink and howling explosions of mana, monsters falling beneath a wave of spells. Pain leaked through the fog stake, I guess, and came to realizing Celia was marching quickly through the halls of Tager Caleb. Oh wow, we already got back to her going back to Tager Caleb. What happened? You're awake again? Cecilia replied. I thought maybe the zone had done something, destroyed your mind. There was a hint of relief in her words that surprised me. A little hint of relief. That surprised me. I had to fight my way through a handful of zones to escape the relic tombs, but we've made it back to the fortress. I'm on my way to report to Agrona now. Weakly, I considered what sort of horrific trials the relic tombs must have conjured for someone of Cecilia's strength. Considering the way she was limping and favoring a number of still healing wounds, her struggle was clear. Cecilia's tension rose with each step as we hurried through the fortress towards Agrona's private wing. The doors were open, and when we arrived, I could feel Agrona's presence emanating outward from deeper inside his private chambers, and Cecilia followed that aura like a beacon. We found him waiting on one of the many balconies overlooking one of the central courtyards of the sprawling mountain fortress. He made a show of reading a scroll that he had sketched out in front of him, or that he had stretched out in front of him, not immediately taking notice of us. A minute passed, then two, and Cecilia became almost physically ill as she waited to be acknowledged. That's the same shit that Kezis did, bruh. He's doing the same shit. Although he had Aldir and Winston wait for like hours, I think it was. She was waiting to be acknowledged, standing within the frame of the open glass doors to the balcony. Finally, Agrona rolled up the scroll before tossing it over the intricate railing. It caught fire as it fell, smoldering into ash and smoke. Only then did he turn. Dark fire smoldered in his eyes. His body language and expression were both stiff. Cecilia, you return. I hope you do so with an exceedingly interesting tale to tell, he said, his voice a threatening baritone rumble. Speaking in a rush, Cecilia began to explain what had happened. She rambled, speaking too quickly but without enough detail, rehashing her journey out of the Beast Glades and her battle against the Asura, then giving a spotty explanation of the trap we had found ourselves in. She kept jumping back to details she omitted earlier, making her explanation difficult for even me to follow. And I had been there. Arona's eyes never left us, and the longer Cecilia talked, the more agitated his aura became. I'm sorry, Cecilia finished, going to one knee and bowing in front of Agrona. Please forgive me, High Sovereign. I made a terrible mistake in judgment. Okay. So instead of keeping her there, she decided to let her go for one favor. That shit is comical to me. I mean, she could have stayed there essentially forever, right? Because Agrona couldn't come get her. Who knows if anybody else could have came and got her? Like, bruh, that's just wild as hell. I watched from the prison of my own body as Agrona approached. When he spoke, there was a biting edge of poorly concealed sarcasm laced through with disappointment. I have overestimated your maturity, Cecilia. If this had been a test, I would say that you failed spectacularly. His jaw worked silently for a moment. And yet, perhaps I have also underestimated the way in which Arthur Lewin affects those around him, including you. There were ripple-like heat waves in the air around Agrona. It isn't the man's personal strength that changes the balance of power. Rather, it's the way the world reacts to him. That's the same thing that Ceres had said. Agrona gave a small shake of his head, and I realized that as angry as he was, some of that was turned toward himself. I see my mistake clearly now. Thankfully, the dragons continue to fall into line just as expected, so I can afford to turn more of my resources to locating Arthur. What you've told me aligns with all the reports I have received. Arthur has been very thorough in his attempt to avoid my countermeasures, but the time for play and experimentation is over. At this point, there is no other choice but to take care of things myself. Cecilia rose smoothly. She was trembling as we followed Agrona, who led us down into the reliquary, whatever Cecilia had visited previously. What does he mean, take care of things himself? I asked, but the question bounced right off of Cecilia, whose own agitated thoughts were was a chaotic muddle. Agrona took us on a winding course through the reliquary, whatever the fuck you say that word, halls to a door that was different from all the rest. Powerful enchantments emanated from it, and the dark gray metal surface was covered with geometric patterns, which, upon closer inspection, revealed themselves to be row after row of small, tightly arranged rooms. A black crystal was affixed to the wall beside the door by a bronze fixture. Agrona placed his hand on the crystal and it glowed with white light through the black. Several locks released and the door swung open on its own. The room beyond was larger than those Cecilia had looked into before, including the room where she discovered the strange rune-covered table. The inner walls shimmered with a mana barrier that encompassed the entire chamber. A large pedestal dominated the floor, nearly filling the room. The pedestal itself stood 10 feet high, but was made even larger by a series of glowing stone rings that gyrated smoothly around the pedestal, somehow without striking each other. The indecipherable runes covered both the pedestal and the rings. Above the pedestal, in the middle of the stone rings, there was a glowing lavender crystal. It pulsed slightly as we entered. Is that crystal the same crystal that the jinn be using when they have their bodies and their minds stored in those crystal things, and then they can interact with you for a time? The same thing they did in the Relic Tombs. I wonder if that crystal is the same thing. Maybe there's a jinn in the past who's trying to help Agrona. Maybe there's a jinn crystal. This is kind of crazy. Maybe there's a jinn who's in the past who's so pissed off about what Kezis did to destroy, their clan, their people. Maybe they're willing to help Agrona and actually taught Agrona a lot of the magic that he knows, so that way they can get revenge on the dragons who destroyed their people, right? And so he's been teaching Agrona all this shit just so that way he can get the revenge on the dragons. That would be crazy as hell. But I could be wrong. I could definitely be wrong. Above the pedestal in the middle of the stone rings was a glowing lavender crystal. It pulsed slightly as we entered. Cecilia, meet Ja-A, or J-A, okay, Agrona said, extending one arm toward the artifact. Cecilia walked slowly around the platform, carefully to stay outside the arc of the gyrating rings. What is this? He said that, what is this? He said that as if this was the crystal pulsed brighter, and a rich feminine voice with a strange accent vibrated this is one of the fucking jinn, bruh. This is what it seems like. Vibrated sourcelessly through the air. A pleasure to meet you, Legacy. Your presence here is the culmination of many jinn lifetimes of theatrical etheric study. Quite amazing, really. The voice grew sharp with excitement as it spoke, almost gushing by the end. What does that mean? I wondered, but Cecilia either ignored or didn't notice my thoughts. Her own mind had only grown more clouded and confused. Ja-A, I guess. Have your power levels evened out after the brief... what? Ja-A, have your power levels evened out after the brief interruption to the Relic Tombs? Wait, what? Ja-A, who is saying this? Have your power levels evened out after the brief interruption to the Relic Tombs? Agrona asked. So this is Agrona. He's asking if her power levels evened out after the brief interruption to the Relic Tombs. So what? She went to the Relic Tombs? This crystal? Speaking to the crystal as if it were a trusted companion. I'm still recovering, unfortunately, the voice answered. As if to demonstrate this fact, the crystal flickered feebly. I expect it would take another 12 days or so to fully replenish my reserves of etheric storage and return to normal operating levels of Agrona. Bruh, so this is how Agrona's been so knowledgeable about all this shit. He's been learning from one of the Jinn, man. That's crazy. Cecilia had stopped walking and was now staring through the gyrating ring at Agrona, who was leaning against one wall and absently clinking one of the ornaments dangling from his horns. What is this? Agrona's expression was unreadable, but he kept his eyes on the crystal as he said, I'm going to just say Ja'e. Ja'e was one of the Jinn, a genius even among her people. Her mind was stored in this housing, which was connected to the first level, which was connected to the first level of the relic tombs as a kind of index for all the knowledge that lay within. Bro, he just got the relic tombs index? That's no wonder he's been able to do all the shit. That's probably been taught. Man, she's probably taught him everything from the runes to the everything to do with the society to giving people regalias and shit, to bringing back Cecilia, the legacy, to doing the shit with taking control over the power of that he gives to the people with all the runes and shit, you know, being able to take control and be able to use them and have it kill them if they don't listen. I mean, she's probably responsible for damn near all the shit that Agrona's been able to do. That is wild as hell, man. That's crazy. So, but this also tells you too that Agrona don't know shit. Like, Agrona isn't this just genius who's been figuring all this shit out and he's been this mastermind who's been in control for thousands of years. No, this motherfucker has been getting all his information from the genius among all the Jinn. Like, no wonder he knows all this shit. That's crazy. What? I thought. At the same time, Cecilia asked, what? Agrona raised one brow as he regarded Cecilia, making her shrink back into herself. I have never shown her to anyone before. In fact, I've never even told anyone of her existence. You are the first and the only person I will tell. Why? Because I need you to understand, Agrona answered stiffly. Still, there was a softness in his gaze that felt out of place. Is that sadness, hurt? I feel it, Cecil. The tension that has been building between us. The distrust. Gray's gravity pulls at you. The little voice in your ear manipulates you. Even Nico's weakness affects you, making you doubt yourself, and by extension, me. After everything, bruh, this motherfucker he's really playing on that he really cares about her so much. He's just like, listen, I can tell that you've grown distrustful of me. Gray been manipulating you. The little voice in your head has been manipulating you. Even Nico's weakness has been manipulating you. Everyone has been manipulating you. Except for me. And what cuts deepest is the fact that after all this time, you don't trust me. Bruh, that shit's crazy, yo. That shit's so crazy. Anyway, the distrust, Gray's gravity pulls at you. The little voice in your ear manipulates you. Even Nico's weakness affects you, making you doubt yourself and by extension me. After everything, what cuts deepest is that you still chose not to trust in me when you disobeyed a direct order and abandoned your post and your soldiers. See it swallow, an extension quiver running from the base of her skull all the way down to her toes. See, here's my thing, bruh. It's just like, yo, Tassia knows all this. She knows how fearful she is of Agrona. She literally didn't, I don't know how she didn't know this shit, but she didn't know at first, but then she came to the realization like, oh yeah, you're more fearful of Agrona than you are mad at the person who trapped you in this place or whatever. Like, she knows that she's terrified of Agrona. She also knows that Agrona's been manipulating her and using her as a weapon. She also knows that how powerful Agrona is. And she knows all this, and she still allows her to go free and continue to be used and manipulated. And not only used and manipulated, but used and manipulated to kill the people that she care about. I mean, what is it going to take? Like, does Cecilia have to chop off Virian's head and then impale Arthur and rip him to smithereens in order for Tessia to feel like, yeah, she's kind of my enemy? You know, she's kind of my enemy who's trying to kill everything I care about. I should probably not set her free. Like, it's just like, it boggles the mind. Like, yo, even if you are a victim, right? Let's say you're a victim and you've been manipulated. But if right now you're a sociopath, and it's not your fault that you're a sociopath, but you're a sociopath, you still have to stop the sociopath. No, regardless of how you feel about, oh, it's not their fault, yeah, they're a victim, they're still crazy. Like, you know what? Tessia is just as bad as Cecilia. Now I see why they chose to take over her body, because they had to give her, the crazy Cecilia, they had to put her in a body that's just as crazy as she is and just as terrible of a character as she is. So that's why they combined the two, and that's why they are meant for each other. And this is just horrible characterization. Just I don't know. Anyway, so Cecilia swallowed existential quiver running from the base of her skull all the way down to her toes. I wanted to reach out to her, to support her, to make her understand that he was manipulating her. But as she looked into his eyes, I couldn't help but wonder, was the emotion he felt genuine? Was this a crack in the Agrona shield, or a carefully portrayed facade of anger and hurt? Sensing my attention on her, Cecilia Sensing my attention on her, Cecilia preempted my argument I might have made, thinking, "Don't. Let me think for myself, Tessia. Please, just don't." I considered the promise she made to me. She had made me, wondering if I could force her to listen by calling on it. But I knew instantly that I couldn't put words to the fear and distrust in my heart. I will only drive her away by pushing too hard here. I bit my metaphysical tongue, withdrawing deeper into myself and carefully watching the situation play out. "Go on," Cecilia said, stiffly walking back around the platform as she could see Agrona clearly. "Jaiye here has taught me much," Agrona continued, his voice soft. "The mystery of the Jinn spell forms, the presence of the ruins, even reincarnation. Though it was my genius that allowed for the implementation of the stored Jinn knowledge. It was Jaiye's sharing that information that allowed me to bring you and Nico back to life on this world." Cecilia waited, her mind launching into a specific question she wanted to answer, but she didn't dare ask. So basically, he's trying to say, like, listen, this is how I know I'm able to send you back, because of all this knowledge from Jaiye, or whatever the fuck the name is. Cecilia waited, her mind latching onto a specific question she wanted him to answer, but she didn't dare ask. Agrona pushed away the wall and approached Cecilia. And with that same Jinn knowledge, she is why I will be able to send you home to a new life, just as you wish. His eyes narrowed and his demeanor hardened. "When our work together is finished, of course." Cecilia's jaw worked back and forth as she mustered the courage to ask. I resisted the impulse to urge her on. And after my integration, those mages, the rooms and table, there was more to all that than simply making sure I survived, wasn't there? "There was," Agrona answered simply. Ceres triggered the integration too quickly. Wait, Ceres? Wait, what? There was. Ceres triggered the integration too quickly, and it was possible that this fragile elven body wasn't strong enough to cope with it. How did Ceres trigger the integration? Let me think. When she integrated, when did she integrate? Did she integrate after she absorbed all of I think it was Orloth's mana? Was that the point when she integrated after she got all the mana from Orloth? I think. I don't remember. Ceres triggered the integration too quickly, and it was possible that this fragile elven body wasn't strong enough to cope with it. I prepared the ability to transfer absorbing the stored mana in Ceres' basement. Yeah, so it must have been from Orloth. That must have been from Orloth then. And it was possible that this fragile elven body wasn't strong enough to cope with it. I prepared the ability to transfer some portion of the legacy's potential to myself. Yo, that makes total sense. Like, of course, because he wants to be the most powerful person in the universe. So the potential that the legacy has, he took some of it and put it into himself. That's crazy. Okay. And guess what? He's like, listen, what's so crazy is that he's trying to guise all this shit as like, oh, I did this to protect you, not to make myself powerful. I did that to protect you because I thought your fragile elven body couldn't handle all of the power. So I took some of it myself to relieve you of that burden. It's crazy, man. Like, how can you be this dumb? You cannot be this dense, yo. That shit is crazy as hell. Like, that's crazy. Oh my god. But let's see. Where's he at? So I prepared the ability to transfer some portion of the legacy's potential to myself. He met Cecilia's eyes unflinchingly. This is a war. And in the event that in case something happened to you, I couldn't in good conscience fail to prepare a failsafe. Or several. Okay. Cecilia's teeth ground together, but I could feel his words swaying her. Agrona seemed to roll some unspoken word across his mouth before turning suddenly back to the Jinn artifact. Jaye, I need to find Arthur Leywin. He has been in the relic tombs and visited the other rooms. But here's my thing, though. Here's my thing. If Jaye is part of the Jinn, right? And the Jinn created and made the relic tombs to store their knowledge. And Jaye is like the index of all that knowledge, right? Wouldn't that mean that that Arthur will be fulfilling what the Jinn always wanted, was to pass on their knowledge to someone who will be strong enough and capable enough to be able to do something with it and maybe get back and like it don't have to be revenge, but like do something good with it, or do something to rather get back at the at Kez's or whatever it is. So shouldn't Jaye be like have the same motivation? Like, wait, why would I try to help you kill the person who was able to get all the knowledge and he's trying to tap into fate? Like, why would he want to stop all that? Unless Jaye wants to get that knowledge back for himself, or for herself. I don't know, man. I really don't know. What am I at? So I need you to find Arthur Leywin. He has been in the relic tombs and visited the other ruins. He will project a strong signal of ether, and he has multiple spell forms. He should not be difficult to trace with so many of my people in Daikathan to cast a net. I'm not sure if I have enough power, Agrona, but I will try, the feminine voice said, emanating from the air around us. Cast the net? Cecilia repeated, her own attention turning sluggishly to the growing crystal and the gyrating rings. Agrona gave herself a self-satisfied smirk. Yeah, Agrona gave her a self-satisfied smirk, the earlier tension easing. Part of the function of the runes I developed from the ancient Jinn spell forms, the runes imprinted on every adorned Alacrian, is to provide a point from which Jaiye can gather information. So all the runes are helping get information to. That's crazy, man. All the spell forms, I should say, the rune spell forms. Cecilia blinked with quiet awe. Is that why you invaded Dicathan at the cost of so many Alacrian lives? To expand this web through the soldiers? I told you, I needed eyes on the ground there, Agrona said casually. I just didn't say whose eyes I was really looking through. Seeming to understand, Cecilia quickly routed off all the locations where she had sensed Arthur's etheric signature. I'll need to search one location at a time, Jaiye said apologetically. I just can't manage a wider search all at once. Then, after a few moments, the signature coming from beneath the ancient Jinn refuge of, forgive me, the settlement's name does not appear to be contained within my memory. The signature coming from beneath the desert of the Dicathian nation of Darv definitely isn't Arthur Lewin, though from what you have said, it was certainly created by him. A picture of the chamber where Cecilia had fought the Asura appeared in my thoughts, focusing on an egg-shaped ball of amethyst energy. One by one, Jaiye repeated the process for each of the locations where Arthur might have been. I dreaded each one, then felt a sudden but short-lived relief as it proved not to be him. Before, I really just don't understand this at all, man. I really don't. Like, bruh. This is wild. What y'all saying? Must be levels as low on Earth. I know, right? He doesn't even need to really try it. Like, he literally just got to put on some voice and be like, yeah, I'm doing all this to help you. Like, bruh. I mean, she's like, it's like she's fucking, like she's 8 years old. Like, I mean, it's crazy. It's like the bank saying, we took the majority of your check to stop you from spending too much. But trust and believe, we're not just trying to keep your money. We're going to give the money back to you, but only when you're mature enough to not spend all your money and go bankrupt, okay? We're definitely not using that money and lending it to other people and collecting interest on it. And, you know, we're not fractional reserve banking over here. We're not doing that. Anyway, where am I at? So and here's the thing, man. It's just like Tessia, I just can't get over Tessia at all. It's just like, yo, oh my God, I got this relief when it wasn't Arthur. Oh, more relief when they didn't find him. And then now they finally find him. And then what you gonna do though? What you gonna do? They finally find him and you just like, well, what? Is she gonna get killed? And she gonna be like, it's all my fault. If only I would have stopped her when I had the chance, he would still be alive. Like, oh God, ugh. Anyway, let me try to digress, man. I can't help but go on these rants. So I dreaded each one, then I felt the sudden but short-lived relief as it proved not to be him before she quickly moved on to the next. In all, the process took several minutes. The density of the signals capable of reaching the location indicated within the remnants of the elven nation of Elenwar are fairly limited. Based upon what I can sense, however, I would calculate that there is a 95% chance that Arthur Lewin is not at this location. Agrona's face tightened into a slight frown as Cecilia fidgeted. Clever, Arthur. So all of your hiding places are fake, and your real signature was hidden well enough to fool even the legacy. Agrona chuckled. This was a brazen gambit for one who claims to hold the lives of his friends and family in such regard. Okay, Jaiye, focus on exactly those places where Arthur hasn't attempted to draw attention. What is he trying to keep us from seeing? Of course, Agrona, this may take a moment. Agrona and Cecilia waited in silence. A map flashed suddenly in my mind, followed by the disembodied voice. Strange. There appears to be an etheric anomaly present at this location. Wait, what? At this location? A red light burned on the map in a spot near the Grand Mountains. A red light burned on the map in a spot near the Grand Mountains between the Beast Glades and what used to be Elshire Forest. Maybe it is that place that Sylvia was hiding out at. Maybe that is where he's really at. While not an etheric source, this anomaly bears the same signatures as the conjurations used to obfuscate Arthur Lewin's physical presence. Based on the information I have access at the moment, this carries all the trademarks of a conjured pocket dimension. The crystal pulsed as the voice finished speaking, seeming proud of itself. Agrona's face carved into a tight, predatory smile. Ah, Arthur, I should have realized it myself. We think so much alike, you and I. Reaching out, Arthur ran a hand along one of the spinning rings, which slowed to let him do so. The lavender light of the crystal flickered. Well done, Jaya. Rest now. I won't call upon you until you have regained your full strength. The crystal brightened. Be careful, Agrona. Tampering with fate is dangerous. The ancient Asura winked boyishly at the glowing crystal. You old flirt, Jaya. So what, they kind of got like a relationship? Hurry, Arthur, whatever you're doing, I pleaded, knowing no one but myself could hear. Bruh, if you really wanted Arthur to hurry, why not help him buy more time by keeping her in the relic tombs? Maybe a thought, probably. Agrona opened the door, and a shouting voice echoed through the halls to reach us. The voice was shouting Cecilia's name. This must be Nico. Cecilia! Cecilia! Where are you? Nico! Bruh. Oh, Lord. I'm cracking myself up. This... Anyway. Cecilia hurried past Agrona, who stopped to secure the door behind us. Nico! She yelled. I cannot, bro. I just cannot take them serious at all. I really can't. I cannot take them serious. It's just, whoo, Lord. Okay. Nico, she yelled, turning around twice as she tried to figure out which direction his voice was coming from. I'm here. Running footsteps resounded up the hallway walls, and Nico burst around a corner, sliding to a stop. He was red-faced and breathless, regarding her with relief and fear. Cecilia, I was afraid. Did they say you left the rift? Where do you... He stopped, struggling to catch his breath. What happened? Both Cecilia and Nico stiffened as Agrona caught up with him. He whistled jauntily, all pretense of his early anger and disappointment washed away. Well, Nico, you are just in time to return to the captain with us. We're going to pick up your old friend Gray. Nico's brows fell and his mouth opened, but Agrona kept talking. Yes, we have in fact found him. And yes, he is in fact resting right where I sent you to look. Inside Sylvia's cave. The cave you reported... the cave your report assured me was empty. Oh, so Nico found him? I didn't even know this. Maybe they said something in the earlier chapters, but I did not know this. Acres, you said a lot, man. Shit, let me see what you're saying. So yeah, he was laughing his ass off. Putting Tessie in the relatives alongside Cecilia's no one kind of sacrifice, not considered bonus. Okay, she could have delayed this by days, weeks, maybe even months, but no, we gotta help the little brat that is pure hatred and whining with the world doesn't bend to her will, bruh. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. At this point, bruh, just you just need to be with Kara at this point, because this girl Tessia doesn't learn from shit at all, nothing. That's what I'm saying. Oh, hurry, Arthur! You could have gave this motherfucker way more time, a higher chance of being successful in what he was doing. But nope, not gonna do that. But yeah, but that's crazy. So Nico already knew that Arthur was there, and he reported that the cave was empty. So That's crazy. And so Agrona's just like, okay, yeah, we found him. Yeah, he's resting right where I sent you to look, inside Sylvia's cave. The cave your report assured me was empty. Nico only looked more confused, his eyes jumping from Agrona to Cecilia as if her gaze alone could answer his question. Agrona rolled his eyes. I swear, Cadell would have noticed the pocket dimension if it was staring him in the face. But then, you're no Cadell. Nico sagged, but Cecilia bristled. Agrona took his hands from his pockets and raised them defensively. Never mind. This is a moment for celebration. He wrapped one arm around Cecilia's shoulders, then did the same to Nico on the other side. Because together, we're finally going to kill Arthur Leywin. And then now what? Tessa's going to be like, but what about my favor? My favor is going to be for you to not kill Arthur. You promised. I just can't, yo. She's crazy. Fucking insane. But Arthur doesn't know all this. I wonder if Arthur knew all this. He was like, if Arthur found out, like, wait, you could have stopped her? You could have killed her and saved countless lives? And you didn't? And then, when I fucking trapped her inside the relic tombs, you helped her escape? What the fuck is wrong with you, Tessia? Like, I just want to see Arthur just fucking go crazy. Like, fucking, you stupid ass bitch. Oh, man. Yo, I swear. Like, that's like the only way I will get enjoyment is to get Arthur to find out, like, yeah, the girl that you love is a fucking moron. Exactly, though. Exactly. She didn't even need to do anything. She could have learned how to learn, you know, she got the lessons or whatever from, she could have got all the lessons from Cecilia, right? And then she could have just been like, you know what? Even though I can push and get you out, I'm going to just sit here and wait for a little bit because I want to give Arthur more time for his plan to succeed. And it's not going to cost you anything, and it's not going to cost me anything for me to just sit here. And you're still going to owe me that favor, but I'll let you out. Yeah, probably in a couple months. I'll let you out a couple months. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, just crazy. Just crazy as hell. Like, I don't like this chapter, but at the same time, this chapter was kind of fun. Just to kind of just kind of drag Cecilia, drag Tessia, and just kind of just have some fun. Just basically laughing at their stupidity. So that was kind of fun. So overall, this chapter is probably like a 7, probably like a 7 out of 10. I was cracking myself up, man. Just the stupidity is just on a different level. It really is crazy. But yeah. So this is interesting that this motherfucker had a Jinn relic or a Jinn consciousness or whatever who's been guiding him this entire time. I don't know why I didn't think about that earlier. You know, I guess I gave Agrona too much credit as far as like how smart he was, because I always thought that, like, I always thought he figured all this out because, you know, he was a scientist and he was really into, you know, learning things and experimenting, and that he just had thousands and thousands of years to, you know, plan and get all this shit right. So I thought that because of all the years, because of his experience, his experimenting, I thought that's how he figured everything out. It didn't even cross my mind that somebody was helping him. So that's also interesting. But yeah, so Cecilia's still dumb. Tessia is still dumb. Agrona's still just using her as a weapon like always. Agrona also has some extra help who's really helping him out to do everything. And then it's crazy, he said that, oh, it's time for me to get myself involved, for me to do it myself. But he really didn't do shit. He relied on the little crystal to find out where he was at. He really didn't do anything. So this makes me look at Agrona in a different light. Like, he's not as this super strong, well, he's still strong. I mean, the motherfucker got stronger by taking Cecilia's potential, man. That's just crazy. But He's not this all-knowing figure who's just so smart, so clever, plans everything out. No, this motherfucker has been getting help from like damn near Jesus. Yo, he's been getting help from Jesus and figuring all this shit out. So he doesn't get all the credit anymore. A computer with Google. Yep, computer with Google. He's been Googling all this shit in order to figure out all the things he's been doing. Just put them in the trash. Yeah, basically, just put them in the trash. Fucking Cecilia, dump your ass in the trash. Nico, dump your ass in the trash. Tessia, dump your ass in the trash. Everybody just get dumped in the trash. Oh, man. But yeah, man, that's it, though. That's it for this video. Like the video, man. I had some fun. If y'all had fun with me going fucking crazy and trashing over these fucking characters, give me a like, man. Give me a like, and I'll probably go live today and do some and read some more He Who Fights with Monsters, because that story's been pretty cool. That story's been pretty cool. It's not like anything like super amazing. Like, I'm not gonna give it a 10 out of 10 or anything like that, but it's been good. I've been enjoying it. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens when they finally get to Arthur. Is he gonna like wake up just in time before they try to kill him? Is he going to get killed? If Arthur gets killed, that'll be a quite the twist, you know. But we'll see. What if Arthur got killed, right? And then he ended up reincarnating into another body, but this body is like in the future. In this future, Agrona's won already, and like the people that he loved and cared about are already dead and gone. And then now he's gotta like redo all this shit with all new different people. That'd basically be a whole new story. Like, that should be crazy as hell. But that's it for me, man. Y'all have a good night, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Peace.